ज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। नारायण परावेदा देवानारायणाङ्गजाः नारायण परालोका नारायण परामखाः नारायण परो योगो नारायण परन्तपः नारायण परज्ञानं नारायण परागतिः तस्मातेकेन मनसा भगवान् सात्वतां पतिः श्रोतव्य कीर्तितव्यश्च ध्येय पूज्यश्च नित्यदा। जयति जगति मायां यस्य कायाधवस्ते वचनरचनमेकं केवलं शाकलय्य ध्रुवपदमपि यातो यत्कृपातो ध्रुवोऽयं सकलकुशलपात्रं ब्रह्मपुत्रं नथास्मि। सर्वेभ्यः नमस्कारः. We are saying the Narada Bhakti Sutras and we have completed up to 71 sutras. And we are seeing the glory of the parabhaktas or the bhaktas who have parama prema towards Bhagavan. What are their qualifications? How do they behave? All that, their credits. About all that we are saying, Sage Narada is discussing about all that. And Sutra 72 is नास्ति तेषु जाति विद्या रूप कुल धन क्रियादि भेदः. What Sage Narada is telling is that bhaktas who are parabhaktas, who have parama prema towards Bhagavan or that supreme devotion towards Bhagavan, they do not see any difference between this jati, that is caste or community, vidya, education, rupa, form, whether they are beautiful or ugly, whether they are man or woman, kula, their family background, dhana, whether they are rich or poor, kriya, what job they do, what action they do, they do not see any difference in among all this. See, all these belongs to the body and mind. Whether it is jati, it belongs to body. In this body, jati, we are born. In this community or in this caste, we are born. So it is related with body only. Vidya, connected with the mind and intellect. Rupa, the form of us, connected with the body. Kula, again connected with the body, which family or ancestral background we have. Dana, connected with the body and mind, and Kriya, action, body and mind. But these parabhaktas, they go beyond this body and mind. So they are not aware of their own body and mind itself. Then how will be they aware of the other's body and mind or rupa or kula or whatever it is? And moreover, all these are needed only for this external world, not for bhakti or for Bhagavan. Absolutely not needed. Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavan is telling what extent a sinner he may be, no problem. If he worship me, I will accept him. That is Bhagavan. So if these are all silly things which we ordinary people see. We see this world, or we respect a person based on his education, family background, position in the society, position, their profession. We respect based on all that only because we do not know that higher realm. We are not aware of the higher aspect of a human being. We are only aware of these local things. So we respect all that and we respect a person based on that. But these parabhaktas, they are always aware and well aware of the higher aspect of a man, and so they do not respect all this, and the acharyas go to the extent of telling all these are the external nonsenses. Really, they are external nonsense. They may be required for the worldly life or for the worldly achievements, but not for attaining Bhagavan. And they take pride in it also. So all these are connected with this, and so they do not respect a person based on it. In a way also, even if they are not that great bhaktas, they don't care. They do not respect a person or not disrespect a person. For them, everything is equal. So the great bhaktas like Ramana Maharshi or Ramakrishna Paramahamsa Vivekananda, they do not see the education or qualification anything. So they are, because they are aware of the higher uh, being in a person. And the next sutra, Sutra 73, is Yadastadiyaha. Why is it so? Why does it happen? Because they, all this is attached to the body and mind, and they are not aware of the body and mind, so they are not aware of the other's body and mind also. They see only Bhagavan everywhere. For them, everyone is the expression of the divine, expression of that one reality, because they are aware of that reality. And from that reality, when they see, all these are the expressions, different expressions of that one reality. Different expressions means, what are all the expressions? It may be a dog, it may be a human being, he may be a sinner, a criminal, he may be a judge, he may be a great spiritual person, he may be a very dirty person or a beggar on the street, he may be an awkward person, whatever it may, whatever variety it may be. They do not see that form and their that qualification based on that form and mind. They see everything as the expression of the reality, that is the expression of Bhagavan. And they commonly say for example, when we go to a temple, all that vigrahas in the temple, if they are very ancient temple, then they are made of stone, or they some metal, combination of metal. They say Panchaloka, combination of the five metals, or it may be in modern times, it may be marble stone like that. But anyway, they are stone and metal. But when we worship in the temple, we do not see it as a stone or a metal. We see it as God only. We do not see the stone. If we see the stone, then we cannot worship it as Bhagavan. When sometimes I have seen, when we go to some famous temples, some foreigners, they come here as too. They want to see the architecture of the Indian temples. So they just see the architect, how they have made it. They only see it and they do not see that Vigraha as Bhagavan. They take lot of photographs and they do discussion on that. They analyze it, they enjoy it, they criticize it, but they do not see the Bhagavan in it. But when we go to temple, we see only Bhagavan and not the architecture or anything. So like that, these bhaktas, they see every form as the expression of Bhagavan, but we see that as form and qualification. They do not see it. They are not conscious of that external form, they are conscious of that reality. A person who is not aware of the truth, then we see only the form of the form, mind, qualification, kula, kotra, everything. And the next sutra, Sutra 74, is Vado na avalambya. Now the topic changes. Vado ana avalambya. That is, Vada means the argument. The argument is not necessary in the spiritual path. Because when we are in that spiritual path, we need peace of mind. Only then we can practice that all that. But when we go for an argument, that peace of mind is lost, completely lost. Even after the argument, long time after the argument, that words and that argument will be playing in our mind and not the thought of Bhava. So first of all, it disturbs the peace of mind in it. The next thing is, however we argue, whatever we argue, Only a person who can speak better, he will win the argument. We have seen in television the Arnab Goswami shows and all. Only the speaker will win and not the matter. The debates and arguments are for that. It is a play of words. So if a person has the talent to speak, then he will win and not the matter or not the spirituality there. This is one point. And the next point is, if we involve in an argument, then our ego will be developed. Spirituality itself is to destroy the ego. But instead of that, when we participate in an argument or debate, our ego will develop and it will not dissolve. Sometimes it will develop to the extent that we may feel dejected if we fail in an argument. If we fail in an argument, it will disturb our mind terribly, sometimes to the extent that we will lose faith in the spirituality itself. So these are all the external points. The internal point is, in spirituality, there is no common rule. I may experience Bhagavan in one way, another person may experience Bhagavan in another way, the third person in another way. For each one, their experiences will be different, definitely different. It will not be common. So, with what basis will we argue? If we have some proof, then we can argue on that. But here, the pramana is the self pramana only. So, on what basis can we argue? Each one will have each one way and path, and their experiences will be different from the other's experience. So I have realized this way. So if you do not realize in this way, it is wrong. On that basis, we cannot argue, because for each one, the path will be different. The next thing is, if we want to argue, it has to be from the mind and intellect level. But all the spiritual experiences are beyond the mind and intellect level. So we cannot argue something which is beyond the mind and intellect level. And the next point is, only the sadhakas will involve in argument, because only the sadhakas will be in that level of mind and intellect level. If they are great bhaktas or great jnanis, then they won't argue, because they have gone beyond that mind and the intellect level. Even they cannot explain their own experience. They can experience, but they cannot explain it. Then how can they argue with others? So all these arguments are only at the lower level. A parabhakta or a bhakta who has parama prema towards Bhagavan will not involve in it. Even if everyone says that you are wrong because your experiences are wrong, he never cares, because he knows his own experience, which he cannot explain and he will not explain. So, all these reasons are behind this sutra, why one bhakta, that is the bhakta who is very serious bhakta, or who wants to attain that para bhakti stage, should not involve in argument. At the same time, discussions may be constructive, but arguments and debate, all this are destructive. It is only good for the external world, but not for spirituality, says sage Narada. As I said, these arguments are the play of words, but it will not be constructive. So there are some discussions and some arguments also in the form of question and answer. We have seen it in Brihad Aranyaka Upanishad, the Gargi and Yajnavalkya and all that we have seen. But they are all constructive discussions. They were not arguments. By that constructive discussions, we can improve our spiritual knowledge. It is asking questions and getting the reply. So all these are constructive, but these arguments are destructive. So Narada says a serious bhakta or a bhakta who is on the stage of para bhakti state will not involve in these arguments. So I'll continue with the next sutra in my next upload. Om Namo Narayanaaya.